In the tangled web of Port Charles, there's a dark undercurrent of betrayal and unspoken resentment that is finally coming to the surface. Britt Westbourne, long an outsider in the midst of the Quartermaine dynasty, has always harbored a complicated relationship with Carly Spencer. A relationship that once seemed rooted in shared history and mutual respect, but which has slowly unraveled over the years. Now, as the tension between them reaches its boiling point, Britt finds herself confronting Carly in a moment of bitter clarity. Britt's words cut deep. She's never been one to hide her emotions, and as she stands before Carly, her face twisted with a mix of frustration and resentment, she finally lets her feelings explode. "Ungrateful," she spits, her voice laced with venom. The words hang in the air like a heavy cloud, suffocating everything in their path. Carly, usually the picture of composure, falters for a moment, her face softening with a mix of guilt and confusion. But Britt isn't done. She continues, her eyes burning with the intensity of someone who has been wronged for far too long. "I saved your daughter's life, twice, and you can't even find it in yourself to thank me." Britt's voice cracks with emotion, the years of pent-up resentment finally bubbling to the surface. Carly, caught off guard by the ferocity of Britt's words, takes a step back, as if the accusation alone is enough to knock the breath out of her. She has always viewed Britt as a thorn in her side, someone who's always been more of an obstacle than an ally. But in this moment, as Britt's accusations hang in the air, Carly realizes just how much she's overlooked, and how much it's cost her. The first time Britt saved Josslyn's life was a story that has been whispered about, but never fully acknowledged. Heather Weber, a name that haunts the halls of General Hospital like a ghost, had set her sights on Josslyn with a deadly intent. At the time, Carly had been desperate to protect her daughter, but it was Britt who stepped in, risking her own life to ensure that Josslyn survived Heather's ruthless plot. Carly, too consumed by the chaos of the situation to fully appreciate the gravity of what Britt had done, never gave her the recognition she deserved. In the aftermath, Britt's sacrifice faded into the background, overshadowed by the fear and relief that followed Josslyn's safe return. But it wasn't just once. The second time Britt had saved Josslyn was at 5 Poppies, a place that had become a battleground in its own right. Josslyn had been arrested, caught in the tangled mess of corruption and deception that ran deep within the facility. It was Britt, once again, who fought tooth and nail to secure Josslyn's freedom, her own reputation hanging in the balance. At a time when Britt could have chosen to walk away, to let the chips fall where they may, she didn't. She risked everything, not just for Josslyn, but for Carly too. Yet, once again, the gratitude she received was nothing but silence. Britt has been overlooked for too long, the unsung hero in a world where accolades are often given to those who least deserve them. Carly, a woman who has built her empire on her ability to manipulate, control, and succeed, has always taken the credit for the things that others have done for her. She's used to being the center of attention, the woman who holds the power, and she's never had to look outside her own bubble for acknowledgement. But Britt's eruption forces her to face the truth that she's been blind to for far too long. The irony of the situation is not lost on Britt. Carly, who has always positioned herself as the protector, the one who will do anything for her family, has never fully acknowledged the lengths Britt has gone to in order to save her own flesh and blood. Carly, who has always claimed to be the hero in her family's story, has neglected to see that Britt, too, has been playing a part in their survival, without ever asking for anything in return. The wounds run deep, and for Britt, the hurt is compounded by a sense of betrayal. She's given her all, and yet, all she's received in return is a cold shoulder and a lack of appreciation. In her eyes, Carly's failure to acknowledge the sacrifices she's made is a slap in the face. It's not just about the lives she saved, but about the years of effort she's put into being a part of the family, only to be dismissed as an afterthought. As Carly stands there, stunned by Britt's outburst, she realizes that she's been so consumed by her own struggles that she's failed to see the people who have supported her along the way. Her thoughts drift to Josslyn, and she wonders if she's truly done enough to show her daughter the love and appreciation she deserves. But in that moment, her guilt is overshadowed by a growing sense of unease. How many times has she taken credit for the things others have done? How many people has she hurt along the way in her pursuit of power and control? Carly's world, built on a foundation of manipulation and deceit, is starting to crumble around her. And it's Britt, the one person she's always dismissed, who may be the one to bring it all crashing down. Britt's words have cut through the layers of Carly's facade, exposing the cracks in her armor. For the first time, Carly realizes just how much damage she's done, not just to others, but to herself. The cold indifference she's shown Britt is a reflection of the coldness she's shown herself, and it's a truth she's been running from for far too long. But the damage has been done, and the question now is whether Carly can repair the rift between herself and Britt, or whether the cracks will widen until they consume everything. For Britt, it may be too late. The years of resentment and hurt are too deeply entrenched to be easily erased with a simple apology. The only thing Carly can do now is try to make amends, if it's even possible. But in the unforgiving world of Port Charles, where loyalty is fleeting and alliances are ever shifting, redemption is never a sure thing. As Britt turns to walk away, her heart heavy with the weight of all that's been left unsaid, Carly is left standing there, her mind racing. The relationship that once seemed so strong is now teetering on the edge of destruction, and only time will tell if it can be salvaged. For now, all Carly can do is reflect on the consequences of her actions and wonder if there's any way to fix the damage that's been done. Britt's anger isn't just about the lack of gratitude, it's about the years of being overlooked, being ignored, and being dismissed. It's about the quiet sacrifices she's made for the people she loves, only to be pushed aside when the world moves on to the next crisis. And as Britt's footsteps fade into the distance, Carly is left with a stark realization: in the world of Port Charles, nothing is ever truly safe, not even the bonds that hold families together.